Okay, so what if all the tech in our lives, I'm talking everything, wasn't just a bunch of random tools, but a single, massive force with a life of its own? That's the powerful idea from thinker Kevin Kelly that we're diving into today, these huge, almost inevitable forces that are shaping our world.
All right, let's kick things off with a pretty wild idea. Just think for a second about everything. Your phone, the internet, the power grid, all of it. What if it's not just a pile of wires and code? What if it's all connected, acting like one single, giant, living organism?
And that right there, that's the core of what Kevin Kelly calls the technium. You can think of it as this massive, evolving entity that has its own urges, its own directions. And like any big force of nature, it's not really good or evil. It's just is. It's something we can learn to understand and, more importantly, learn to work with.
So what's it actually feel like to be living inside this technium? Well, one of the first and biggest changes, and we're all feeling this, is how it's totally rewiring our relationship with stuff and the whole idea of ownership itself. I mean, just look at this shift. It's everywhere. We went from owning shelves full of CDs and DVDs to just streaming on Netflix. From buying software in a box to subscribing to it. The pattern here is it's so clear you can't miss it. We are moving from a world built on possessing things to a world built on getting access to them right when we need them. The first big force driving all of this is what's called flowing. We've moved away from these static, finished products and into continuous streams of services and information. Think about it. Your apps, your news feed, your music, it's all in a constant state of updating, always becoming something new. And that, of course, leads us right into the next big idea, accessing. For a huge number of things in our lives now, from a ride across town to powerful software, immediate access is just way more valuable than the burden of owning something forever. I mean, why would you want a car with all the hassle when you can just pull out your phone and have one show up in minutes?
So what this all adds up to is an economy that's built on immediacy. Everything becomes on demand, it's delivered in real time, and it's all increasingly decentralized and personalized just for you.
But this whole shift is about so much more than just getting stuff when you want it. The next layer we're adding is intelligence. We're in the middle of making everything around us smart. This is where we get into the really cool stuff, the incredible power of what Kelly calls cognifying.
Think about it like this. A couple centuries ago, we took everyday objects and bam, we added steam power to them. Then, about a century ago, we did it again. We electrified everything. Well, the revolution that's happening right now, it's the exact same playbook. We're taking all those electrified things and we're adding a layer of artificial intelligence.
And this really just drives home the sheer scale of the opportunity here. As Kevin Kelly puts it, the business plan for the next 10,000 startups is very simple. Take X and add AI. And that X, it can be literally anything you can think of.
Now, this is absolutely crucial to get. We're not talking about replacing human intelligence here. We're augmenting it. AI brings a different kind of smartness to the table, a flavor that's incredible at speed, memory, and calculation. And that just happens to perfectly complement our human strengths, in creativity, seeing the bigger picture, and self-awareness.
Okay, so we've got this flowing, super smart, on-demand world. But how do we actually, see it all? How do we interact with it? Well, the answer is a bit strange. Increasingly, we are the screen.
This whole idea is called screening, and it means that screens are no longer just devices in our pockets or on our desks. They've become the main filter, the primary lens through which we experience culture, information, and even each other.
And a shift this big, it actually fundamentally changes the way we think. We're moving from being people of the book, a culture built on the authority of the printed word where facts were set in stone, to becoming people of the screen. And in this world, fluidity and context are what's important, and we navigate everything through this huge interconnected web of associations.
Okay, so we've got these huge forces swirling around us, flowing, cognifying, screening. The really big question is, where is all of this actually taking us? Well, it's leading to a completely new way of thinking about what progress even means.
We always seem to get two options for the future, right? Either it's this perfect, shiny utopia or a total dystopia. But there's a third option, a much more real one, and it's called protopia.
See, Protopia isn't some destination we're going to arrive at one day. It's not a perfect future. It's this constant state of becoming. It's simply the idea that tomorrow is a little bit measurably better than today. And here's the kicker. This progress, it creates just as many new problems as it solves. It's messy, it's complicated, but it's forward.
And what drives Probebia? It's this, just a tiny 1% improvement. It doesn't feel like some big revolution day to day, right? But that tiny, steady progress, man, that's what compounds over time into these massive, world-changing transformations.
And if you really want to get a sense of perspective on this, just look at where we are. I mean, look at this timeline. The internet has really only been a mainstream thing for a few decades. We are the very first people to navigate this new world. We're not at the end of the movie here. We are literally at the opening credits.
So, if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. The greatest, most important, most transformational products of the next 25 years, they haven't even been invented yet. The playing field is so wide open. So the only real question left to ask is, what are you going to build?